everyone. My name is Amy Mentuck. I'm Executive Director for the Nature of Words. Thank you for coming today as part of the Nature of Words 9th Annual Literary Arts Festival, our final event. I'm really proud to be in partnership with the Deschutes Public Library, longtime friends, and excited to share the work of Dr. Emily Carr today with you all as a guest author to our festival. Poet Dr. Emily Carr has been a finalist in 7 national book contests, most notably the National Poetry Series 2011, her second book of poetry, 13 Ways of Happily. This book is available for sale in the back. It was the winner of the 2009 New Measures Poetry Prize. Another book of her poetry, Directions for Flying, with this beautiful cover. Directions for Flying was the winner of the 2009 Furniture Press Poetry Prize. Emily has received fellowships from the Vermont Studio Center, the Virginia Center for the Creative Arts, the Jack Kerouac House, Writers in the Heartland, and Camet Centre d'Art in France. She has authored a 6-volume series of artist books, and her experience teaching music to Quaker children encourages her to think of writing workshops as laboratories, spaces for exploration, writing together, sharing what we've written, and thinking about what happens in these writing moments, which really encapsulates the nature of words and what we've been trying to achieve through our festivals and our events. So Emily is a kindred spirit. Emily received her PhD from the University of Calgary in 2010, and she is the director of the MFA in Creative Writing at OSU-Cascades, the low residency program that just was launched this fall. Please welcome our friend, Dr. Emily Carr.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Mary Heather. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Chantal. And to the rest of you who are out there that I should be thanking, you know who you are, you know what you did. Thank you. I'm so pleased to be joining such a rich and vibrant literary community, of which the Nature of Words and the Deschutes Public Library are 2 really outstanding examples. So I'm just really pleased to be here this morning with you. What I'm going to do is briefly frame what I'm going to do in 2 ways. So I'm going to put a scholarly frame around what I'm going to do, and students, you're in class, so I expect to see you taking notes. This will continue conversations that we've been having over the last 10 days. And I encourage you to chat with any of the students. Maybe at the end I'll make them identify themselves. They've been learning literally for like 12 hours a day for the last 10 days up at Caldera Arts, and it's been amazing and inspiring and really awesome. And so, I encourage you to chat with them and get a sense of what it means to really grow a writer. And so what we've been doing together is turning a passion for writing into a profession of writing. And in my scholarly frame, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and then I'll give you a creative frame as well, so you sort of are prepared to listen. So in this scholarly frame, I'm going to be giving you some notes on ecopoetics, ethics, and the investigative lyric, all of which are continuing conversations that we've been having in the MFA program. And I'd like to start that out with a short poem by Emily Dickinson called Nature is a Haunted House. Nature is a haunted house, but art a house that tries to be haunted. But nature is a stranger yet. The ones that sight her most have never passed her haunted house, nor simplified her ghost. To pity those who know her not is helped by the regret that those who know her less, the nearer her they get. I'm going to read that one more time. This is really a frame for how to listen and view what's coming. So pay particular attention. So once again, nature is a haunted house, but art, a house that tries to be haunted. But nature is a stranger yet. The ones that sight her most have never passed her haunted house, nor simplified her ghost. To pity those who know her not is helped by the regret that those who know her less the nearer they get. And that's what I want to take forward, this idea that knowing nature is really knowing her less as you get closer. And we're going to do that together. So that's something of a warning as well. So I call my work, when I talk about my work, I say that I'm an eco-feminist love poet. And that means a lot of different things. So I'm just gonna lay out a few of those things for you this morning. So one of my friends, who's an Oscar Wilde scholar, likes to say that if you enter into an ethical relationship with a text, you have to put yourself in the position in which it might change you. And I like to extend that to an ethical relationship with anything, right? An experience, an animal, our environment, ourselves. You have to put yourself in that very vulnerable, sometimes scary and disturbing position in which you might be changed. So our core faculty poet Ariel Greenberg, who unfortunately had to head back to rural Maine this morning, has been talking to our students about this idea of doing important work and aspiring to do important work, which does just that. It's startling, it's disturbing, it shakes up the culture at large. Those are the works that are canonical, that get remembered, and all of us are aspiring towards that. So you're gonna see a little bit of what that means in an eco-poetical sense for me, which the short version of that is embracing our inner animal, which is scary and disturbing. That inner animal doesn't get to come out nearly as often as it should. So we're gonna get to do that together this morning, and in advance, you're welcome. So just briefly, and this you can also read on the Nature of Words blog. I talked a little bit in conversation with our blog writer, whose name I've forgotten, I'm very sorry. Thank you, Nicole, about what it means for my work to be called eco-feminist. So briefly, what I do is in direct opposition to a tradition in literature that rewards self-containment, digestible epiphanies, rehearsed forms, consumption, and the separation of inner and outer worlds. So what that means is I'm particularly interested in a vocabulary of nature that does not serve a solely personal expressive function, screen a symbolic appropriation of the land, or graft to the human. I know that's a lot of big terms, you'll see. I'll illustrate that with my work. And those things said, in terms of the investigative lyric, which is something our students have been learning about, this is what I think about the investigative lyric, and this is by Fanny Howe, another very influential American poet. What is a poet but a person who lives on the ground, who laughs and listens, without pretension of knowing anything, driven by the lyric's quest for rest that never, God willing, will be found. All right, so this ends the use of the microphone. You will hear me, don't worry. What I'm going to do next really requires a chair. So there are